Welcome to another edition of One on One with Mitch Lafon. Joining me this week from the band Europe, it is singer JOEY Tempest. We talk about their new War of Kings album, new in the sense that it's being re-released with a bonus DVD or Blu-ray of their 2015 Live at Wacken Festival performance. And we also talk about the band's upcoming North American tour that starts in January, so very, very soon. Let's get right into this. Here's the one, the only, JOEY Tempest of Europe. We are speaking with JOEY Tempest of the band Europe. The new album is War of Kings. It has made a lot of best of 2015 top 10 lists, actually. It's a great album. It came out in, I guess, was it February or March?
Yeah, early. It's done wonders for us. I mean, we've had a good year. We've toured a lot on this record, and we got a few awards, amongst others, Classic Rock Awards here in London as a comeback of the year, and it was amazing. It was a big shock, but it's really cool. We got another award in Sweden, People's Choice thing, and yeah, we've had a great year, and War of Kings has done really wonders for us, and Dave Cobb, who produces with us, we really find a good friend there, and hopefully we can work with him again when we go into the studio September, October next year.
Oh, that's great. Now, Dave, of course, has produced Rival Sons. They're going to be opening up for Black Sabbath on the North American tour in 2016. What did he bring to the sound that Kevin Shirley, and I don't want to say didn't bring in a negative sense, but what did he bring that was different to what Kevin was bringing?
Well, it's interesting because they're both great, and we consider them two of the guys in the world that can handle a live situation and live bands and record it warm and classic and do it the right way. Both of them are fantastic. And actually it was with Kevin Shirley it all started to come back to us, the way just record live around the drum kit and work on the best take and not overproduce and stuff. So Kevin really sparked that way of recording for us again. And Dave, I suppose he came in more, he was co-writing a bit with us, 4 or 5 tracks. He came in more like on the music side, and he really wanted to create a vibe for the record, and we talked a lot about that before we went into the studio, how to create an atmosphere and a vibe, and it all came out. Some of it came out in the Hammond and the Mellotron, so we experimented a little bit more with Mellotrons and keyboards like that to try to incorporate keyboards again without working it too much. We're getting slightly tired of synthesizers and stuff like that. So that was a way of creating the vibe. But what really captured us with Dave Cobb was to hear Rival Sons recordings, like for instance Pressure in Time, to hear the drum recording and to hear how we recorded drums, bass, and guitars the old-fashioned way, but really crispy and modern and urgent. And that blew us away, and we just wanted to work with him, and we took a chance calling him, really. But he said, "Yeah, I'd love to work with you guys. I used to play drums to your albums when I was a young boy, and yeah, I'll come over and work with you guys." So, yeah, they're both Kevin and Dave are amazing. I think they're two of the best out there, and Kevin does mixing still for us. He just mixed the Wacken DVD for us. And he actually mixed the GEICO Final Countdown version, which is a new version. We said to GEICO, we won't do this unless we can present a new version, and we want to look the way we want to look in the commercial. And so Kevin is still part of the Europe team, but Dave is probably the producer even for the next record, because we had a great time with him, and he becomes like a band member, and he's on the music side. He steps in and as well, so that's kind of cool.
Now, I do want to ask you about the GEICO commercial, but before that, you had said earlier this year that the album, you really were trying to capture Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, and Deep Purple. And, of course, today we find out that Deep Purple is going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Just talk to me a little bit about Deep Purple, that band, and why you think they might belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, I think they definitely do. I mean, for us growing up in Stockholm, it was that band that reached the suburbs of Stockholm. It was made in Japan that really wanted us to become musicians, and the sound and the musicianship on that album is amazing. I mean, the songs are great too, but it made us want to be musicians. It made us want to dream and hope, and Made in Europe was another live album. That's where we got our name from. So we got named Europe from there. So Deep Purple was very rooted in us. We had all the albums, and it was them, Led Zeppelin, of course. I remember hearing Black Dog for the first time. It's just walking the streets of Stockholm, and I was like, how do you do this? What is this? This is amazing. And then we moved on, and some Sabbath stuff, of course. Some of the guys in the band are really into Sabbath as well, but then we moved on maybe to Thin Lizzy and UFO and British bands like that. But that's how it started. That we have that foundation, and Deep Purple definitely deserves it 100%. And I think I'm very excited. Is that official now then?
Yeah, it's absolutely official. It's them, Steve Miller, Cheap Trick, Chicago.
Yeah.
NWA, and I'm forgetting because there's a sixth one. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Oh man, Steve Miller's amazing as well. What a writer and a guitar player. So that's cool. Deep Purple and Steve Miller. I'm really happy about that.
And Cheap Trick. You can't deny Cheap Trick.
No. I mean, I remember listening to that stuff. It was played around Stockholm when we were kids, and yeah, that was quite catchy. Some of that stuff, absolutely. So yeah, Deep Purple. Hey, this is great. I heard some rumors about it, but this is amazing that that's official. I think it's greatest news in a long time.
Oh, it absolutely is great news. It finally shows that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is doing it right.
Yes.
But let's speak about the sound of the band, because since you've gone back to Start from the Dark in 2004, the band has gone back to this more sort of earthy root of 70s rock, a lot of Zeppelin influence, a lot of Purple influence. Is it nice to have that freedom to do the music you want to make and not get stuck into sort of an LA glam scene, or what the Final Countdown ended up, the album, I mean, not the song, what the album...
Yeah, we never really wanted to repeat ourselves. It was kind of always that way, and we always kind of the underdogs as well, and we sort of take our turns and try to keep ourselves on the toes and do slightly different things on every album, but we're still hungry and we want to make interesting records. It's been an interesting journey coming back. We've done 5 albums now, as many as we did in the first period of Europe, but this is a different adventure. I mean, we're trying to find a deeper expression. We try to incorporate the blues that we have in us to use that on recordings. We try to incorporate the 1,000 shows we've done together and play live in the studio and really capture the essence of the band rather than overworking it and overproducing it. I think too many bands are stuck in that way of working. They need to break out of that and find the essence of every instrument and let them find a vibe. But it's easy to say, of course, but if you have guys like Kevin Shirley or Dave Cobb, they can handle it, and they can help you get really interesting records out of basically performing live in the studio, you know?
Yeah, and it's a great way to record, sort of 4 on the floor, as they used to say. Now, you know, when I interviewed you in the past, it was, I think for Last Look of Eden and also for one of your solo albums, you had mentioned, and I'm paraphrasing, that you didn't want to be known as the Final Countdown guy, that there was more to Joey and more to Europe, and I fully agree. And now, thanks to the GEICO commercial and the Final Countdown, it's become sort of that resurrection of the band and the brand. Talk to me a little bit about doing that. What was it exciting to do it and scared to get labeled again?
Yeah, we were aware of all that,
right.
But we've seen. I remember seeing Iggy Pop's commercial over here for an insurance company, and he did it with a tongue-in-cheek attitude, and it was kind of humorous as well. And I thought, we can do this if we do a great version of it, and we do it seriously, but and it turned out great. But we knew that Final Countdown would come into the focus again. But in America, we haven't been there for 10 years, and if we can get some people to talk about us again, maybe we can build our relationship again with America, and that's the idea. And coming over, playing some new tracks, and hopefully releasing the back catalog and spreading the word. I mean, we're proud of Final Countdown, and I'm proud of it. So years have passed now since we spoke again, and I don't really feel that anymore. I feel it's a great track, and we're proud of playing it live. And you know, it's part of us, you know, and we're ready we play it anywhere, and we also play our new songs because they're strong and we feel proud of them. So it works.
Yeah, the new songs are great. There's what's the one? Days of Rock and Roll, I think, on War of Kings is my absolute favorite. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. You've got this deluxe edition where you've done a Blu-ray DVD from the Wacken Festival, or Wacken for us people in North America. Talk a little bit about that festival and this performance, and re-releasing, and of course coming to America for your January and February dates.
Yeah, we wanted to the record company and ourselves wanted to release War of Kings again, but we said we can't just throw it out there. Let's put something exciting on there. So we filmed the Wacken performance earlier this year, and we captured 17 songs, and we worked hard on putting it together, the footage, and Kevin Shirley mixed it for us. So we wanted to make a great DVD to go with it, so people really get something together with the album, and we're very proud of it. I can't wait for it to come out. I think it's coming out around now over here, and a bit later in America, and just in time for our tour over there. So it's really exciting, you know.
Yeah, I hear the phone ringing over there.
Yeah, that was actually my manager calling. So he's just checking if I'm doing my interviews, probably.
No, but it is an exciting package. Now, you know, we mentioned that Start from the Dark came out in 2004, and you've done UK tours, and you've done, of course, Sweden and Scandinavia, and so on and so forth. North America has been a bit of a puzzle, a bit of a hair puller. It's been difficult to get here. What's changed now that you've been able to book this tour?
Well, there's a few changes. We have an American management based in Los Angeles. Also, the band is feeling that we've been touring a lot over in the UK, a lot in Asia, Scandinavia, Europe. We feel like we've been missing touring in America. We haven't been there for 10 years. We went on an East Coast run early in the year, which felt really comfortable. And now we get a taste of starting on the West Coast and do more, a few more states south and inland, and everybody in the band are really excited now to start building maybe a new relationship again, and bringing our back catalog and our new songs, and yeah, so it's an interesting. It's just great to be able to work America again.
Yeah, but it is a tough challenge doing the bar scene.
I mean, you can look at it that way too. I mean, this is a big continent. Things move powerfully and slowly, and you have to put the hours in, and we are aware of that, and times have changed, business have changed.
Yeah,
so what you got to do, you got to bring your best show, and you just got to work it, and yeah. We know the deal. We've done it in a few countries.
Right.
It took years to turn things around in the UK, but we've done it now, and they've accepted our new stuff and together with the old. And so yeah, we have some work to do, and business have changed, and yeah. So we're realists, though. We're just going to build it up slowly and start with the media, with the fans, and maybe meet some new fans. And yeah, it's quite a tough challenge, but we're up for it.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, as Joey, you've done 3 solo albums, the last one being the eponymously titled JOEY Tempest of 2002. Last time we spoke for Last Look at Eden, you had said, well, you know, I've done that. Now my focus is only Europe. Here we are, I guess, 6 years later. Do you still feel that way, or is there place for both where you could still do some Joey solo stuff?
Sometimes I think about it, but it's so much with Europe, and it's been so exciting building this up again. I can see it happening, because there are obviously unfinished ideas and avenues that I can do as a solo artist. But my thing, what happened was when we had a break with Europe was this. When I was diving into the singer-songwriter world, I got everything from Bob Dylan to Neil Young and Randy Newman, Boz Scaggs and Van Morrison, and I studied all of them because I thought I needed to go deeper lyrically and musically. And so there are still things that I want to explore and learn, but so there maybe in the future, but it's so busy with Europe and so exciting at the moment, so we'll see.
We'll see. Recently, former guitarist Key Marcello gave an interview, and he said that his relationship with JOEY Tempest was non-existent. Is that right? I mean, is that something that makes you sad? Is that just part of, hey, listen, when you leave a band, you lose touch. C'est la vie.
Yeah, I mean, I met him a couple of times over the years, said hi and stuff, but we had a great time. Key was it was fun to have him in the band. A great guitar player and great humor, and yeah, we had some good times. And when we started again, I was missing John a lot. We met I saw John Norum play when he was 14, I was 15 years old, and we've been like brothers, since then. And it was something that was missing, and yeah, I've only met Key a couple of times the last few years, said hi, and yeah, he's got his own thing. He's very busy, I think.
Right, and listen, John in the band is great. You mentioned that in September, October of 2016, if I heard correctly, that you're going to go back in the studio with Dave Cobb?
Yeah, we talked about it, and Dave seems interested. We are interested. Hopefully we'll come together. The idea is to go and record the next album September, October, hopefully next year, yeah, for an early 2017 release. That's the band's plan, and we hope we can stick to it. And we had a great time last time with Dave, and we will hope that this comes together.
If the plan comes together, and I hope it does, because I've bought all the albums.
Yeah.
In terms of sound, though, do you want to continue what you were doing with War of Kings, or do you want to explore something totally different, or do you say, okay, now it's time to go back and make an 80s sound? Where do you go sound-wise?
No, we are very organic in that sense. We don't decide where to go until we have the songs, until we're in the studio, starting recording. Everything with Europe just happens in quite fast. We record basic tracks in 2 or 3 weeks. That's it, and then we start putting it together and mixing it. It's impossible to say. What we'd like to do is challenge ourselves with every record. We want to go slightly left or slightly right on every record, and that's going to happen again. I mean, I'm sure there'll be some twists and turns, but we have found a good thread now with Bag of Bones with Kevin Shirley and World Kings with Dave Cobb. We are on a good I don't know,
a good arc or whatever.
Yeah, we got sort of it's moving organically somewhere, and we're excited about it. So we don't want to analyze it too much. We just want to go with it. What we want to do is find a deeper expression and maybe mix in blues and soul a little bit, and just find, it's amazing for us after 1,000 shows, a band from Stockholm being able to record songs like Praise You or Angels with Broken Hearts with a bit of sort of dynamic and depth and expression that we never thought we could do. So if we can explore that even further, that would be amazing.
It would be, and I know that we have 20 minutes, so I'll finish with these final two questions.
All right.
May of 1986, the Final Countdown comes out. If we do the math, that's going to be 30 years. Anything in store for a 30th anniversary? Will you play the album from top to bottom? Will you do some kind of special tour? Anything?
Yeah, we are talking about it now. We haven't booked anything. What we want to do, since we have new albums and new projects going, we don't want to emphasize too much on it, but we want to do something. So towards the end of next year, November probably, we'll do 5 to 10 shows and maybe celebrate this record. We haven't decided anything else than that. So we're sort of just throwing ideas around, but we will do something in a short period of time and maybe capture it, and that's it. And then we move on and release our next record.
Yeah, I would look forward to that. I've interviewed a lot of singers over the years, and as we all get older, certain things start working less than they used to. For you vocally, is there a challenge as you're getting older? I mean, you sound great on War of Kings. You sound great on the Wacken. But are you doing anything differently? Are you preparing for shows differently? Is your voice holding up?
I'm lucky. I mean, it is holding up. And one of the crew members has been with us since 83, 84, and our whole career. And he says he thinks my voice is developing, maybe a bit huskier, maybe a bit rounder, a bit grittier, but it still carries the tone and So I'm lucky that it's working. I mean, of course, sometimes I get really hoarse. I mean, I can hardly speak after the show, or, you know, if we have a lot of shows or we tour a lot. But I'm lucky. Touch wood, it's holding up, and it sounds good on record. John Norum thinks the vocal on War of Kings is the best I've ever done. So that sounds good. That's really coming from him. That's really cool. He's a good singer himself, so that's cool. Yeah, I'm just lucky. It's holding up, and we're not touring. We always take breaks now. We tour a lot. We're a hard-working band, but we take breaks to go to our families kind of more often. So we're not out like 6 months. We will be out. We'll do 3 weeks, and then we're home for a few weeks at least, and then we'll go out again. So we take breaks all the time. Maybe that helps a little bit too.
Right, and that's also part of the changing business. I mean, in the old days, when you talked about Deep Purple, they would have 254 shows in a year. Now it's more like 3-week runs, 6-week runs, and then take a break.
We've done about 100 shows this year, and that's kind of good. And we just want to be creative. We want to give ourselves time to write, and want to give ourselves time with our families. But we're still we're still a hard-working band out there.
Yeah, you very much are, Joey. Always a pleasure talking to you. I would love to see you in Canada. Hopefully in Montreal at some point.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's due time, and thank you. Thank you again for your time. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much for your support. Okay.
Absolutely.
See you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, man. Bye.
And there you have it, folks, my interview with Joey Tempest, singer for the legendary band Europe. The new album is War of Kings, new deluxe edition with a Live at Wacken 2015 DVD available now. So please check that out. Also, let me remind you that I have 2 tickets to give away to Black Sabbath at the Montreal Bell Center. I was going to say the Forum, but that's the good old days. At the Bell Center on February 23rd, 2016. They're with Rival Sons, who of course is produced by Dave Cobb, who produced Europe's War of Kings. So there's the tie-in for that. You just have to head over to the One-on-One Mitch Lafon Facebook page, like the page, and then send me a note saying that you want to go to the show. Keep in mind that it is for a pair of tickets only. Transportation, accommodations, and all those other incidentals are not part of the prize pack, so please keep that in mind. There you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this episode with Joey Tempest of Europe, the new album War of Kings. Make sure you check that out, and there you go. Bye for now.